about the creative process of the Crucible?
I'd definitely say creating character. For me, all the characters in Crucible are, I guess, emotionally rich, psychologically rich. They all have deep meaning and backstory, even those such as like Giles Corey or Nurse, Francis Nurse. Even if they have like a small role to a bigger role, such as John Proctor, they all kind of have like a depth and how they're being afflicted by the main problem.
You are alumni of Twin Falls High School. What is it like to be working with BHP again?
I really enjoy it. It feels like I'm just working with my family. I know I've like seen you guys, but I really miss working with you, and so to do like one last show with you, like my last hurrah, it's like pretty awesome. And it's not that I don't love the people here because they're awesome, but it's not like they're not family, and I really miss my family, so it's really good.
How has your role, Abigail Williams, impacted you?
Well, it's impacted me as an actress a great deal because she's such a complex character, but people think that she's just a young girl who's scheming and lying about all these things. She is lying, but people don't understand how much like thought she puts into all of her lies and how much time she actually spends thinking about this. And it's crazy to like be in her mind and like be acting as her because she's so like such a deep character, but she's so shallow at the same time.
Yeah.
It's really hard sometimes because she puts like all of her lines have so much depth, but nobody really realizes it. So
Your character, Mary Warren, how is this character like you, and how is it different?
I feel that I'm very similar to Mary Warren in the way that I have a hard time telling people no, and I have a hard time choosing a side, and I think that's Mary Warren's biggest problem, if anything. And I feel that we're most different in the way that I have, I think, a little more confidence than Mary, and I know myself more than she does as a person.
How did you prepare for your role as Judge Danforth?
Well, it's interesting because most of my roles that I've played previously have been extremely like comical ones, and so this is kind of really the first show that I've been able, or that I've had to like really prepare because I'm normally a kind of ridiculous person, so this has kind of been the first role where I've had to like really think about the role. Where it's like, okay, I can't trick here. Or just a ton of random stuff. I can't just throw anything out and it'll be okay. I have to think through my movements and like think how I'm going to say my lines.
What's the biggest challenge about taking on this role, Tituba?
I think the biggest challenge is seeing myself as Tituba. Because if I believe that I'm Tituba when I look in the mirror, then I know everybody else will too. So I have to see those qualities that I believe Tituba has first, and then I think everyone else will see them.
Why did you want to be involved in this production?
Well, it's my first year here at CSI, and I'm trying to get more involved with the theater department, and so I thought that being part of this show would be a good way to introduce myself.
As the costume designer, which costume is your favorite?
Well, I really love all of the costumes. I would have to say that out of all of them, I really love the nude leotards.
What is going to surprise people about this show?
I think just the fact that it's so much more than just the Salem Witch Trials, and there's just a lot more content, and it's more abstract than people are going to expect.
What has been the biggest obstacle to overcome?
Putting my ideas for the lighting onto paper, because I'm a really bad artist.
Hi, I'm Carnessa. I'm the set designer for Crucible, and if I could describe my concept in 6 adjectives, it would be simple, abstract, unique, sleek, modern, and creative. What do you like about joining forces with CSI and BHP?
Well, I think the best thing about it is there are so many talented people on both sides, and we're getting opportunity for people to play different roles, and I am really loving working with and learning about the students from Twin Falls. It's been great.
What was your overall vision for the Crucible?
the idea behind Crucible was to bring an argument to a modern, to bring it to our modern audience, especially for students, and to kind of bring a classic American play that's still very much relevant, but also make it relevant visually and emotionally to a student body that largely is so separated from McCarthyism and the Salem witch trials, and where we think of Salem as a myth, like these crazy pilgrims that burned and hung witches, but really, as a society, we do so much of the same thing. And just to bring that to light and say, hey, we need to look at some of our own reactions and our own idea of this mob mentality, and before we do something drastic. And so in our society where we're tied so close to immigration, and where we have Syrians and families moving in soon, and during this time, that we see this mob mentality growing a little bit in visitors that come here and in ideas. And so we wanted to bring that to life and say, hey, before we get too crazy, let's look at an example of play that looked at this before. And so we have the situation that took place in Salem, and now we have this place that took place with communism in the 50s and 60s, and then now what do we do? Kind of bring it back. So I think just to make it aware, and so students can go back to class and say, wow, I never even thought of it that way, or maybe we do need to change and think about what we say.